Good morning. I'm Peggy Hurson.
I'm Scott Clark.
And I'm Rick Entrop.
And we are coming to you from the coffee shop. This morning we are at the Bounty in, this is technically Shoreline, but we discovered when we got here that this neighborhood is called North City.
North City, okay.
Yes,
North
and it's
City.
November 24th, 2013.
Dun dun dun!
Woo! November is almost over, which kind of makes my brain explode.
It does.
I think that time has this weird speed up, slow down phenomenon, and it always happens this time of year. I think it's because there's holidays.
Oh, right.
And so you're marking time in a different way. That it just feels like everything just starts speeding up right before Halloween, and then just goes like a freight train through New Year's.
Yeah, and then
stops.
Right at the
January 2nd, time just freezes.
Because it's cold out.
Yeah,
It's
and
so
you have
dumb.
nothing until February, and it just feels February is a year away.
Yeah.
It's President's Day in February, I think. It's the
I was
next
thinking
holiday.
Valentine's Day.
Man.
Do you celebrate President's Day?
We get it off, so yes,
You
I do.
put a stovetop
There we go.
hat on and,
I get that day
walk
off.
around? Girl,
give me
Anytime I
give
get
each other
time off,
presidential presents.
Oh my gosh, I should do that this year. Throw a President's Day party and
that'd be awesome.
watch Lincoln and
There we go.
I don't know, smoke pipes or give out wooden teeth as a party gag.
Nice.
That would be hilarious.
Like Festivus, but for President's Day. Yeah.
Best of us for the rest of us.
Or do a pageant. That would be really funny at President's Day.
They should have
pageant.
First Ladies Day.
I know, they should.
Yeah.
You know,
They secretly run the
all
country
their
anyway.
accomplishments of marrying a president.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess they're elected too in a way.
Yeah, they are.
I always find that really creepy though. Do you guys remember Howard Dean?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Was very briefly people
And
wanted
his
to
wife is
nominate
dying
him.
of cancer.
No, his wife is a doctor and wasn't campaigning with him because she runs a gigantic clinic.
Okay.
And she's a doctor. She's I am a professional person. I am practicing medicine. And that is why he, people were criticizing her for not putting her job aside and going on the campaign trail.
Right.
And it tanked his candidacy, and I was
He tanked his candidacy when
That's
he
the one,
got up
yeah.
and screamed into the microphone.
When he did the roar. Yeah, okay. I was thinking of his.
Utah, and Washington, and Texas, and other.
Oh, I thought that was way after he had stopped being the front runner. But
No, that was
because
because that was it was the second state or third state
He was in
pageant
Ohio
that's
or
going
something.
around. Yeah,
and he just seemed
and
weird.
it just after that, everybody called him creepy and look at the evidence, and he just sort of
Weird.
shot himself. in the
Because
foot.
he lost
I
the
always really liked
nomination
him.
right at
Yeah.
that point, basically.
Oh,
And
okay.
then, what was his running mate? That was the guy whose wife was dying of cancer.
Oh, was that Edwards?
Edwards.
Who cheated on her?
Yeah,
and that all
right,
came out,
right.
and then
Yep,
it turned
yep.
out he was
Yeah.
payola jobs to
Oh,
the
yeah.
son.
Hey, here's
of
a
his-
shocker. They're politicians. That's
Yeah.
what they do.
Right, I know. He always
Surprise.
seemed kind of sketchy to me, though. Anyway, but we're at the Bounty.
Imagine that.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a really cute coffee shop / it becomes a music venue and has beer at night.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of an all-day
Yeah,
venue.
it's kind of a new building, newish style.
It has really cool
If I
light
only had one
fixtures.
critique on the place, they just need to run a dust mop on the floor, and that's about
Oh,
it.
yeah,
That's
totally.
It's a little dust
Well,
mop.
It does look a little rough.
It's just
But
when
if
the sun hits it, it just I'm
Yeah.
just that
Looks
person.
gross. Yeah, if you were walking across with socks on,
Yeah.
you would just pick up all kinds of bits and stuff.
Yeah, they look like a Swiffer.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
Do you know, I'm the one person who hates hardwood floors.
Huh.
I really, really hate hardwood floors. And it's for that reason, because I don't like wearing shoes. And so then you're walking on the floor and your feet get all gross and
Right. Well, and then you got to put those socks into your shoes now too,
Right,
which
totally.
is another. I don't know.
and carpet, even if it is dirty,
It
sinks down.
yeah.
You don't even notice
Yeah.
it. And I don't like sweeping. I'd rather vacuum. And I like the coziness of carpet. I like
It's
the
warmer.
smushy. It's warm.
Yeah.
You can lay on the floor. You cannot lay on the floor on a hardwood floor. That's ridiculous.
Oh, I have.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's hard and angry.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Then
Yeah.
you just get throw rugs or something.
See, that's what
But-
everyone says, but then why not just have carpet?
True.
People you can get a rug.
Our
I'm
first-
or I could get carpet.
We had hardwood floors in our first house. I loved them. It was mainly because we
Everyone loves them,
had
but-
an animal.
Oh,
We had
if I
a
had,
big
yeah,
dog, and she.
that would.
You have to watch them skish
Yeah, she learned how to walk on it. It was funny when she was a puppy, and but she would lose enough hair every day to make another dog, I swear. So it was a blessing to have that. We just sweep it up, and you had this mound of it looked like a haystack.
And I also make enough hair to create a dog pretty much every day. Like I lose hair like crazy, and so when I
Make a rope.
Make a rope? I should.
Hair rope.
Gross. When I had hardwood floors, I would sweep every single day, and it would just be a big ball of hair, and it was gross.
Call you Rapunzel.
Yeah, exactly. But now I just vacuum it up and then empty the thing, and it's just so much nicer to me. I would get a Roomba if I had a hardwood floor now.
They still work on carpet, don't they? Roombas?
They do, but not as good. My apartment has little stairs between small spaces, and so I've thought about it, but I just don't have enough open space to make a Roomba make sense. But that's my dream, is to have like a really open, flat area that I can just have a Roomba going, and just it's always clean.
Nice. Have you seen the Roomba where they'll like put a camera but open the lens while the Roomba goes, and it makes like and it makes like patterns on the floor? Because it's just
cool.
Because I think they put lights on it or something, so you can see
so it's
the
like
patterns that it makes.
Weird.
So kind of like when they leave the shutter open on a freeway.
Yeah, exactly.
The street.
That's cool. I haven't seen those.
They make real interesting sort of spirographical kind of things.
Nice. That's cool. You should check that out.
Yeah.
My nephew, Christopher, our nephew, Rick and mine, he sent me a video. Oh my gosh, I'll post it on Facebook because it's really, really cool. Of a Kickstarter campaign for drawable circuits. This just reminded me of it because you were talking about the thing. It's a pen that draws a wire.
Right.
And so you like they're like drawing a circuit, and then they put a battery on one end and a switch on the other. Yeah. And it creates a complete circuit. And they were doing all these different like how to use it in both teaching science and also like maybe even like applications of like using it in computing and stuff like that, and it was so cool.
Awesome.
Anyway, it was really interesting because it's like two-dimensional, but then you put a battery on it and it
works.
It totally works.
Put a light on one end and a battery on the other end.
To do circuit boards, it's a screen printing process.
Weird.
Yeah, so they actually burn screens and then push whatever metallic filament or whatever causes the current to flow. It's
crazy.
Printed on there.
Yeah, ooh, that's super creepy.
Yeah,
because soon like our electronics are going to be just like pieces of paper. It's going to be like you have your computer folded up in your pocket.
Yeah. They already have like televisions that wrap around your arm.
I know, totally.
Yeah. Well, wasn't I'm thinking of that. Was it the Winter Olympics that were in China 2 years ago? Or no?
Yeah. Winter Olympics were in Beijing.
Yeah, I think it was
that was like
the opening ceremony. Was that?
Yeah.
But they had like that big video screen in the middle of the field or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that looked kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It seemed like that was something new, like a malleable video display.
Yeah, I have no idea what that was. Like, I thought for some reason it might have been a projection, but that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I don't know.
Huh.
I missed it. I didn't watch it.
It's amazing, didn't you? Have you seen the South Park about
South Park makes fun of it.
South Park does a really, really funny one where, like, Cartman watches it, because it is, like, the opening ceremonies are the most amazing thing, and it's just, like, thousands and thousands and thousands of people doing very uniform things.
Right. Yeah.
And so Cartman is watching it, and he's like, they're going to destroy the world. We have to do something about China. And then he goes on one of his, genocide rampages.
Yeah.
But like just the idea that watching that made him like terrified of the Chinese is so funny to me.
Butter steals the show for that one though, because he dresses up like a Chinese, and he's got like these big buck-tooth teeth.
They go to P.F. Chang's and like they try to like infiltrate it, and they come in with like the Fu Manchu, and Butters has he's dressed up as the guy from It's Jerry Lewis. It's a Jerry Lewis character.
Oh, cool.
He used to do the Chinaman, and it was like horrifically racist.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so Butters does like the buck teeth and everything, and the big glasses. Yeah, it's totally Jerry Lewis. I'm like, who is that? Yeah. Anyway,
he also
I miss
people
those.
in the dick.
It
was the other.
Butters.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Okay, are we on South Park?
Yeah,
now? Okay.
We're on South Park now.
It's the one thing I've always liked about them that they don't do enough of is they get the little catchy phrases.
Yes.
The they took her jobs or whatever the little.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and they like use them to like the 10th degree.
Yeah, but they do that very effectively.
They do.
They make great T-shirts too.
Totally.
Go out and posters.
Right.
What was the first one? Respect My Authority.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yep.
Yeah, no, South Park has. I am a big South Park fan. I have watched every single, except for 2 episodes of South Park, at least 6 or 7 times each. Like the seasons 1 through like 15, I've seen. I mean, when I'm sewing, I'll just hit scramble on southparkstudios.com and just have South Park playing.
Right on.
And so I spend a lot of time thinking about this, and like they have categories of episodes to me, and I wonder if it has something to do with who writes them.
Oh, sure.
But like some of them are just character based. It's like the Wendy kicking Cartman's ass episode, which is my all-time favorite. The breast cancer awareness fight. Or they have like a political episode, which is like the recently the World War Zimmerman, where it's like all about like current event stuff and they're interacting in some way. Or they have like the superhero video game, a Mysterion, Imagination Land, like those kinds of episodes.
Right. Oh yeah.
And like it's always interesting to me because Rick was mentioning before the show started about the most recent. The Game of Thrones episodes. Yeah. And I could not have thought they were more not funny.
Oh, really?
And do you watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I've seen it.
And did that make you like it?
Game of Thrones?
No, the episode. Because I thought that they were like a bad, like a less interesting version of the Lord of the Rings episode where they have the porno, which is like one of the hilarious episodes. And the 3-parter with Mysterion, they were so much like those that I was like, I don't know, there's nothing new here.
They have sort of, the last few seasons, I think, dialed it in a little. Where they're just kind of running on, just write that or whatever.
Right.
And they're not really
Let's do one
pushing.
like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's like great concept, there's just, where's the funny,
you
know?
So they're recycling jokes then? Is that what...
Did you guys... a little bit, or more like recycling context.
Right.
So then it feels similar to a previous episode, but they're trying new jokes and stuff, but it's just like, I don't know. It doesn't really give you any like, oh, this is a new thing that's interesting, you know?
Right.
And like, did you guys see the Ginger Cow episode? Just a couple weeks ago. I thought the ginger cow is really funny to me. Like I laughed beginning to end in that.
What else was going on in that?
Okay, so Cartman, because I guess before the episode starts, Cartman and Stan have an argument over whether animals can be gingers or not. And so then Cartman goes out to play a prank on Stan, or no, he's playing a prank on oh my gosh,
Kyle.
Kyle.
Yeah.
That he goes out and like paints a cow ginger, like puts a fro wig on it and like paints it white. And he's like, you guys, you okay? I owe Kyle $10. He was right. Animals can be gingers. And then they like go out in this field and it causes peace in the Middle East because supposedly there's this biblical prophecy of a ginger cow.
And it becomes...
And then Kyle knows Cartman's lying, but he decides for the greater good of peace in the Middle East, he will continue to let Cartman lie, and then Cartman begins to like abuse Kyle and like say that he likes to eat his farts and stuff.
So that Cartman won't let the cat out of the bag.
Right.
He was supposed.
Then Kyle has to be like Cartman's whipping boy, and he follows him around, going like, "I love your yummy farts," and like wants to eat his farts and stuff. It's just kind of like silliness, but that episode was like so funny to me.
It was a lesson in how far Kyle will go to lie. What's Kyle's sort of litmus test for his moral state.
Yeah, and there's a really funny moment in it where he gets kind of like high and mighty about that he's doing this great thing for mankind, and then everyone's and like, then, now you're just being a dick.
Right.
It's like, it was really funny.
Now,
so
they have,
there's
I'll be catching up on it soon.
You should.
Yeah, I have. Thank you for the Hulu password.
Oh yeah, totally.
But they are pretty hit or miss.
For sure.
Ike, where he takes hormone.
That one's pretty funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that was a really good one. Ike is Kyle's little brother. I always get Kyle and Stan mixed up for some reason. Just the names, like I know which is which.
He's the Canadian. He's the adopted
and he goes
baby.
through Canadian puberty, which that episode actually kind of made me feel crazy because they were So they were they were making a statement about Obamacare. As though the government website controls healthcare. And the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, it doesn't do that. I was like,
you're talking about Mr. Mackey and the whole school system.
Yes.
How they
they were doing this like juxtaposition of like the school was trying to control everything through a website and it was just messing everything up.
Right.
And then they were saying, well Canada was doing that with their healthcare and it messed everything up, and that's why Ike got these hormone pills because the government was trying to run healthcare through a website, and I was like, that is not what healthcare.gov is. Like the whole time I was like it made my brain explode because so many people have so many misconceptions about what, because like the healthcare website mess up is this big thing.
Right.
But people think that's actually like healthcare, like that the website is doing it. All it is a sign-up service.
It's to
I think it was more of a poke, not necessarily at that, but as the whole automated sort of technological direction that we're heading in general.
Yeah, no,
like
I agree. But the way they juxtaposed it, I think the general public who don't really understand what Obamacare
maybe
is
it was a poke at them.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, for sure. In the context of when they did it, that's the initial thing of the joke.
Yeah.
I kind of do like the way they're topical. They're really on it. It's not like months later.
The thing too is usually they're on it, and this time I was like, you are totally perpetuating false information about something that like people are out there saying those things though that want to overrun Obamacare. They're saying like, oh well, the website's messed up. That means nobody gets health care. And it's like, no, that's not what it means.
Right.
Like really, like look at all these good things that are happening, because there's so many awesome things that are about to happen, especially for people who make very little money. And it drives me crazy it's like, oh, it's a disaster. It's like, no. Like, we're about to people who are living on Social Security who did not get health benefits before because they make, like, I have clients who make like $850 a month, and that is too much to qualify for Medicaid. And they don't get Medicaid. And I'm like, but they are destitute.
They have no money.
And they're about to now get covered because it's expanding. And that's, to me, that's a really...
$850 a month, that barely even covers any
the
rent.
limit right now is set... Well, they live in subsidized housing. But now the limit is $710. And after January 1, it's going to be... I think it's like over $1,000 a month. But just barely. It's still very low, but there's so many good things that I'm like, can we please like get some knowledge and think about this in a, and for example, the Washington State version of the website is working spectacularly because, we're a tech state and we did it right. So people in Washington don't even have to go through the national website. It can be broken all at once because our state is like, oh, well, we take care of our state and we're going to do it this right way.
That's the way it should be anyway. Because
totally.
I don't know. I think it was kind of it's a good concept, but it's.
Well, the implementation is getting all janked up.
I think there's people that just in our government they don't want it, and so they're just half-assing it anyway. So it's
a lot of instances of like hackers taking down the system and stuff have come up. But I think it's a scaling thing, which is that like something like healthcare, they're trying to manage it from a national level where it's more effective. I think if our state, a lot of states are like, yeah, we don't want a Medicaid expansion. We don't want to put up a good website. But Washington is like, oh yeah, we do, because we want people to be insured. And so they're actually doing things on a local level. You know what I mean?
Now I'm wondering if Canada actually has to have like a registration, like you have to find your own health insurance, or just everybody has it.
In Canada, you just go to the hospital.
Okay, that's what's wrong with that. But I think it's because we're so afraid of that.
We don't have nationalized health care.
People are afraid of that.
We don't
totally.
pay as much in taxes to that, I don't think. I don't know. I'm not sure how much do Canadians pay in taxes.
I don't know.
Because I know like other countries that have socialized medicine pay a ton.
Well, because we have relatively low taxes right now. If you look at the last like 60 years, our tax level is very low.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
But look at our debt, though. Our spending is way through the roof.
Right. That's the problem. Is spending is up and taxes are low, and so you have the worst of both sides.
Will never cut deficits, though, or they'll never bring that down because it's not popular.
I read one time the United States was one time debt free. We had no debt.
Yeah.
It actually caused
Bill Clinton era.
No, it was before that. It's a long time ago.
Well, in the Bill Clinton era, we had a surplus.
That was a budget.
That's the budget.
That's the budget. We've always managed the debt, and it's because it actually stimulates economic growth. Mm-hmm. But the United States back in the early 20s or before that, it was. The country was debt free and actually caused
before the Fed, because it was about the 20s when the Fed got put in.
I don't exactly.
Like the New Deal stuff,
something like that, and it actually caused a recession or depression. Actually, it was like not the Great Depression, but it actually caused a depression because there was no
debt.
No debt.
Yeah. Well, that's economies are in some ways imaginary. You know,
it's arbitrary.
Well, fiat money. Yeah, that's why things cost more gradually all the time.
Totally, it's true.
It's just the rich get first crack at it, so they get more bang for their buck.
Yep.
So I'm curious about something. So I'm gonna change the subject here. But just before we started. I found out Rick was hungover.
Yes.
I want to know why.
Oh,
Rick is hungover.
I feel better now that I got something in my stomach.
Okay.
I just went to a company party.
Nice.
For UPS.
Okay. They do it good?
Well, no, not an official company party. It was just one of the managers had kind of an invite only sort of come on over, and there was.
And you were on the guest list.
I made it to the guest list. Yeah. So it was good. It was good. Got a little more camaraderie with fellow coworkers and. Played some beer pong and had some shots. And,
I have never played beer pong.
It's not hard.
Right.
But don't play against someone good.
I've actually never played a real drinking game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
like a legit.
Like quarters.
Not even quarters. We used to, back in my drinking days, I guess, this is probably, like 19 or 20, I don't know, we'd party every night, but we'd play what we call Russian roulette, where everybody had a glass in a circle, and there was one in the middle, and you'd flip a quarter up, and if it went to your glass, you'd drink, or if it went to the middle one, everybody would race.
That's funny.
They'd race?
Yeah, and then the last one to finish has to drink the one in the middle.
Oh.
So...
That's funny. I've done things where, like, you try to do a drinking game, like you put a movie on, and like the Star Trek one or whatever, where he says "make it so," you take a drink, but it always lasts about 30 seconds, and then you're just chatting and drinking.
The key to drinking games, though, is making rules, where you can't say drink, or you have to do this, or you have to,
drink, drank, or drunk, or say dink, dank, or dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never.
But then it gets a little interesting.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're kind of.
But I've never not just had like drank anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's to me it's like most of my friends we would just like get together and drink. Like we didn't have to create an apparatus for us to get drunk. We would just get drunk on our own.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I'll watch somebody play beer pong and I'll cheer them on by drinking.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my crowd too. Like we're not. I don't know. Like, and I think of that as being like the kind of frat guy crowd.
Yeah.
We were always like nerds. So, yeah, I don't know if nerds play drinking games. I'm sure they do.
Yeah. But D&D with the
drinking game. That's what popped in my head.
You roll the die 20 drink.
The 20-sided die. You land on 12, you must drink.
That would be really funny. Well, thanks for being here while you're hungover, Rick.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not
I feel
hungover.
better, you know.
Even though I had quite a bit of wine last night, I was kind of expecting to feel crummy today because yesterday I went off carbs. Which, like, I don't know if I'm doing it in an organized way, but I was. I go through these periods where I'm really bad at grocery shopping, and then I start eating shitty food, and then I'm like eating shitty. No, I know.
I'm in the same boat. I'm not
empathizing.
Yes,
no,
yes,
I know.
okay.
I got that. You're like, yes,
Peg.
you do. You eat shitty food.
I know.
No, but like where I'm just like constantly like going to the corner market to get like chili dogs, and I'm like, why don't I just go to a freaking grocery
and
store?
you never feel good after you eat them.
But to me, it's laziness, and like because I'm getting home from work late and I don't want to cook anything, and so I was like, you know what, I need to just plan meals. And then I was like, and while I'm at it, I should just eat better because I'm boxing a lot, and I'm kind of trying to work toward maybe in December or January going from 2 privates a week to 4.
Upping your privates?
Up in my privates. My coach told me this week that he came in, he's like, well, I don't have any privates today, so you want to work out? And I was like, you don't have any privates.
You're going to have to be there with your phone and get him saying it one of these times.
And just like make a ringtone.
There you go.
You can do privates with this guy, you can do privates with this guy.
Privates.
Oh my gosh, he's so funny. So anyway, I'm trying to go to 4 privates a week in an effort to like keep my momentum of getting better going. And so anyway, to try to work toward that, I was like, well, I could drop a few pounds, need to get more protein. So then I started looking up like protein shakes you can make at home.
Right.
And I found a low carb protein and went to GNC and grabbed it.
Is it Isopure?
It's Designer Way.
Designer Way.
It's like 2 carbs, 18 grams of protein. So then I'm making these protein shakes. I'm doing, salads and like kind of trying to be more healthy. And like today I'm going home and cooking a week's worth of meals. So it's going to be like, that's my new strategy.
Load up your freezer.
Grocery shopping, cooking ahead of time.
I found if I've got something to eat at home too, I'm more likely to go, oh wait, I need to go eat that so it doesn't go bad in 2 days or whatever. So it's like you're eating to keep your garbage clear of stuff in the fridge. So
Totally, and not to waste a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
I do that a lot.
Because if the fridge is full and you go out to eat, then you're sort of double whammy.
Yeah.
Right.
So, so anyway, yesterday was my first day because I was like, well, while I'm doing this anyway, I got the low carb protein shakes, I've got the salads and stuff. I'm just gonna go off carbs for a while.
How's your energy level?
Good. It's because the first day you get that weird kind of
first week you get the
high feeling, like where you feel almost like you're buzzing in a weird way.
I've always had the opposite.
I get
not enough sugar.
I get like the kind of half headache, feeling weird and jittery.
It's almost I almost get like a weary feeling, like
just like I used to take like diet fuel and all that kind of the peppier diet
drugs.
pills that to kind of counteract that. But now that you can't get them anymore, it's like, what do you do?
Internet.
No, I didn't notice low energy, but I did notice feeling weird. And then I was drinking wine because I had wine at home, and I was like, well, I'm drinking it today because I'm not getting any more for a while. Even though wine is pretty low glycemic index.
Yeah, that's kind of the kicker there. The quality of the sugars that you're eating. Like the sugar in potatoes, the carbs are very, they burn really quick. But like in a carrot, they're very slow.
Or even a sweet potato has a way lower glycemic index than a potato, which is counterintuitive because it's sweet.
Right.
But it
has more fiber.
Yeah, probably.
Fiber has nothing to do with it. It has something to do with how your body processes it. I can't say that for some reason.
Nice.
So how it breaks it down and turns it like more of the complex the sugar, the better it is for your body because your body's actually the furnaces power up.
And it's kind of more of a time release thing where it's not just going to take all it can and put it right into fat.
Right. Totally.
Because you can't. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's also based on hormones and blood sugar, and so I'm just trying to, like, I've found in times past where I either eat low carb, or I did for a long time, I did food combining, which isn't low carb, but it's low sugar, and you separate your carbs and your fats, and so like maybe you'll have grape nuts for breakfast that with fat-free milk, but for lunch you'll have like full fat cheese and but no carbs with your fats. So it's like a weird, but it functions kind of like a low carb diet.
Well, it kind of makes sense. You're making you got your carb intake when you need it right in the morning to get you kick started, and then you just kind of maintain through the day.
Yeah, totally.
The zone diet.
It's very similar to Zone. Yeah, totally. But I really like those, and I feel like it's good for staving off diabetes, which is my number one goal in life, is to not get diabetes. And
so far so good, right?
Yeah, totally. Okay. I've never even had a minorly abnormal blood sugar thing. But then also, like, I just feel good. Like, I don't get tired. But if I'm on a low calorie diet, I do get kind of lethargic. But you know, managing carbs, I usually feel really good and like have a lot of energy, and so anyway, I'm just trying it. We'll see. I don't like to restrict food too much, because then like I start getting real weird about it. But and I just don't like getting too obsessed with like trying to lose weight. So, but I'm just like, meh, I want to eat better. I want to like I want to like be powerful in boxing, and so I feel like food is the thing that I can control. You know,
you are what you don't excrete.
Indeed.
Oh man,
gross.
I know.
It's really funny.
You know what? Okay, so we're gonna segue right into a massage here.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Good segue.
This last Wednesday, a coworker, his wife made gallons of chili, and they brought it in, and that Wednesday happened to be my first massage, and I forgot, and I had 2 humongous bowls of chili with beef.
Oh no!
Oh no! But I was about she was actually pushing burps out. I was like, I was like, what? Where'd that come from? And it was all chili smelling and stuff. And I actually tensed so bad I hurt myself, because I was like, man, I was not gonna let one fly. But it was.
You didn't have fart blanche, huh?
No. It would have been so. It was like when I got outside, I didn't even wait until outside. I got in the elevator. It was I was blowing it up. I blew up the elevator.
Nice.
I destroyed it.
I love that.
Yeah.
When you're like holding it in, and then you just like.
I'm looking through the donut hole on the massage table, and she's like bearing down, like she's getting traction on the floor with her leg back. So she's like
jumping up there and piling
I was like, you're really trying to push stuff out of me, aren't you? You're trying to see if I break. I'm not gonna break. You can't break me. Yeah.
Good. So is it helping? I
Thursday,
you're getting this for your neck.
Yeah,
right?
Thursday I was really sore because the first massage it releases a lot of toxins and stuff, and then and then Friday I had another one, and it was a different massage therapist. It was actually I was her first ever client, so she
weird.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Then's when you need to get the chili going.
Yeah,
break her in.
Yeah,
get used to this.
You're gonna have to. We gotta season you. Get you used to it. It's gonna happen. So it was. The second one was she was a little bit more. She wasn't as aggressive as the first one. I kind of like the more aggressive massages though.
Have I told you guys about my massage therapist? I can't remember if we ever talked about this on. Okay, so I get massages now. I think I've had 4. Maybe 5 by this massage lady. And, you know, I got a prescription from my doctor and, you know, all this stuff because of, like, boxing is making my legs, like, really tweak out. And so she is like a fantastic masseuse and totally nuts. And, like, she does this thing which the first time I saw her, I thought she was talking to me. And then in the next thing, she told me, oh, no, she's not. She'll ask questions, and I'll be like, I don't know, maybe. But she's not asking them to me. She's asking them to my angels. And she'll like go, you know, okay, what needs to be worked on? And the first week I was like, oh, well, you know, this leg is weird and this thing. And she's like, I'm talking to your angels. And then, so then what it ends up being is like her trying to guess what's wrong. And then the whole time asking me if she was right. And she's like, oh, well, they told me this and that. And then she'll be working on, you know, my leg. And she'll be like, was I right? And I'm like, this game is not.
Why don't you ask my angels?
Sorry.
It's so crazy, and like she's a little nuts, and like she'll like do this, like she calls it muscle testing, but really she just like holds her hand on my leg and goes like, okay, okay. Okay. So you need to put ice on this, or you need to put heat on it, and I'm just like, it's so much nonsense. But she's really funny.
I bet she talks to her pets.
She does.
Oh, I'm sure she talks to her pets. She
probably
nuts.
talks to others' pets.
Yes. Maybe the angels of her pets.
There we go. Yeah.
Had she been normal, it'd be nothing to talk about.
I know, but she's super nice and a little obsessed with my hair. Like, she calls me a mermaid and tells, like, every time she comes in, she's like, your hair smells so good. And I'm like, okay. And like this time, she's working on my butt, right? Because I do a lot of squats and stuff, and she spent like 20 minutes telling me about how it was like a beach ball. She's like, you could like drop quarters on it, and they like, I was like, this is a very weird conversation to have.
Did you feel
while I'm nude on the table.
That would have been.
It was really weird. She's crazy. But
She's
really,
playing quarters.
Really good.
She's playing quarters.
I know. She's like bouncing things off my butt. She's hilarious, but like really good. Like this time, I snored myself awake twice in the massage yesterday because I was like so relaxed and tired that I was like, I'm awake. And then I felt bad. I'm like, sorry, I just fell asleep, but I'm so relaxed.
That means it's good.
It is.
You can fall asleep during massage, can't you?
I know, but then I feel like I'm missing it. And I could just be napping.
Right. She's snoring.
I know.
Just wait till she's
Smoking a cigarette or something.
No, she's awesome though. She's just completely nuts. So it's kind of entertaining. I kind of enjoy.
I like the entertaining nuts rather than the
scary
psycho
nuts.
scary nuts.
Yes.
I'm baffled now. See, I like to talk, and I'm talking through that hole, and
I'm surprised.
I know, isn't it weird? But I end up drooling. It's like I keep doing that the whole
Put a
time.
glass at the bottom.
I need it. Well, that's why I said that. You guys need a bucket down here to catch the slobber, because I'm just what is it? I don't get it. It's just the gravity.
Probably just relaxation.
The gravity pulling the moisture out of my mouth.
Totally.
I don't think it would stop even if I didn't talk. It would just.
You know what would scare a masseuse is if you showed up wearing some Depends.
What would they do?
I don't know.
Like, well, you want me to leave the diaper on? Take it off.
I would suggest leaving it on, but it's up to you. I'm whatever.
Just to be funny. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
That would be
so
awesome.
Funny. Yeah, I love getting my massages though. Like it has actually, and I've noticed a really big difference in the next workout I go to.
Yeah.
Like especially in my calves, which was why I got the prescription, because my calves are like, I have these like monster Entrop calves, and then you're on your toes for 45 minutes and they get even more crazy, and like always the next workout after my massage I'm way more able to stay on my toes the whole time, which is
You've lengthened the muscles and
totally. And I spend a lot of time I do I ice, I do hot baths, I stretch for like 20 minutes before each workout. Like I spend a lot of time trying to keep my calves under control.
Yeah, I wish they'd figure out the whole stretching thing. First it's not good, then it's good, and bodybuilders don't do it, now they do it.
Right. Well, and my friend was telling me that actually, she was like, for boxing, I have a friend she's a massage therapist, and she has a degree in like kinesiology or something. Like she's like she can do like sports training stuff. And she was saying that if you're doing something like boxing that's really fast, if you do too much stretching, you could injure yourself because you're lengthening and stretching and then going into short, fast movements, which maybe your stretching might cause an injury. And I was like, well, what is it then? Like,
There's
I don't know what I should do.
There's 2 kinds of muscle fibers.
Yeah.
There's the quick twitch and then the slow twitch, I guess.
Yeah.
But in that, I was just in my research for bodybuilding for GNC, they would suggest that you work out both ways. work out really quick to do, like swimmers are really lean and really like cat-like muscles.
Yeah.
But to get the full development of the muscle, you want to do both kinds.
Okay.
Do slow movements and really quick movements.
Yeah, totally. And it makes sense. I just don't know what I should be, like whether I should be stretching. Because she was saying stretch after instead of before. And I was like, well, and then I told her my problems with my calves, and she was like, you just need to get massages, which was why I then got a massage, because she was like, it sounds like your calves are always overstrained.
Right.
They're never relaxed. And I was like, that is true.
I think stretching before you go to bed, like before you sleep, I had this idea of like a couple months ago. I don't do it all the time, but it allows you to kind of see where you're hurting too. So it's like, oh yeah, that kind of aches a little when I do that, or so it kind of tunes you into where you need recuperation more. And kind of, you're about to sleep, so,
Totally, that makes sense. And I do a hot bath before I go to bed, which is kind of like a similar thing where, like, just because, like, it makes me super relaxed and, like, feel really good. And I have this, like, I can't really tolerate really hot water. And so I'll, like, I know that's, it's nice, but it, like, I just was having a hard time with, like, tolerating it. But now I've found that if I do like a kind of warm and then sit in it for a minute and then let it like half drain out and then turn it just pure hot then fill it up and do that like 2 more times, I can sit in like water so hot that like my legs turn red.
The frog in a boiling
hot. Exactly. Which I never had tried before, but now I can get it like really hot, and then man, I just like knock out when I go to sleep.
The flip side of that's also true. Like if it's really hot in the summer and you want to cool off, take a shower, but don't just jump to the cold. Gradually get colder and colder and colder, and you can tolerate it. And when you get out, you'll be really cold, but you're actually you're taking your body temperature down rather than just putting cold water on you.
Totally, which is a shock, even though I got over that when I was living in Ghana, because there is pretty much 0 hot water heaters in Ghana, and so every shower was the cold well water shooting at you. So I'd like turn the shower on and like stand back and then like put my hand in it a couple of times to like get used to it. Because the first time I just turned it on with it pointing straight at me, it was like the most like screams came out. Like, and even when it's like 1 billion degrees outside, that feels bad.
I taught myself how to take showers like that when I was overseas. Just because you would sweat all day if it was a hot water shower. You would never be dry.
Oh my gosh, totally. It's true.
It reminds me of that movie UHF.
Oh, I love UHF. Yeah.
It's like, you found the marble in the oatmeal. Now you get to drink from the fire hose. And they just blast them with the fire hose.
Oh, I love that movie. Totally.
That was a spoof on the Nickelodeon.
Double Dare,
and kind of a
fish.
Weird Al's awesome.
Let's see what you win. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He was Long Duck Dong on 16 Candles too.
Totally. That's so funny. I was watching Hangover 3 last night, which I give a B- to.
Okay.
I mean, it gets extra points just for having Bradley Cooper in it. To me, like I'll watch Bradley Cooper just sit in a chair and stare out the window and be like, "This movie's great." But I was thinking about Ken Jeong, and I was like, what point does the urban legend come out that he's short round from Indiana Jones? Because I bet there are people that if you just said, did you know that, Senor Chang was short round, they would go, oh, I totally believe that because he seems like maybe the right age.
This might be it.
We should start that rumor.
Okay.
Because
I've never heard that before. So.
No, that's the thing. Is like I've never heard that. But if you think about it, he seems like maybe he could be the right age.
Right.
Kind of looks enough like him. It's like I bet if I started that rumor,
no,
he probably is, because I don't even think they're ethnically the same. Because I think Short Round is Chinese and I think Ken Jeong is Korean, isn't he?
I
thought Jeong was a Korean name.
I thought Short Round was Cambodia or something like that.
Oh, maybe he is.
Somewhere Southeast Asian.
He might be. It's true. But when I was looking at him, I was like, I would believe that if someone with authority just told me that was that kid from Indiana Jones. I'd go, it could be.
I went
They
to the
just look
Goonies
similar
myself. I went at the.
Oh, it's the same.
Yeah.
Is
was
it Shark
Data?
Rabbit?
Data.
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Is that him? Yeah,
Very
okay.
I
good.
think it's the same one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
love
think
the
it
Goonies.
is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't think so.
We should
I'm
take a.
gonna say
You
no
don't?
on that.
Okay.
I'm gonna vote no.
Speaking of the Goonies,
we'll
we
have
should
to
take
look
a
it
field
up.
trip and go down to Astoria and
Ew,
see the
that's
Goonies
fun.
house.
Totally.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
actually
We'll go to the
gonna-
beach where
Yeah.
they do. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I love
That would be awesome.
So Scott,
I've
you
never-
were going. Oh, what?
Sorry.
You've never been down there?
I've never been to the Oregon coast. No.
Oh, we should totally
Yeah,
go.
sorry.
That would be awesome.
No,
That's
next
beneficial.
summer.
Okay.
It's really fun.
You
I
know
haven't
what?
My
been
wife
since like.
loves to
yeah.
go to that kind of thing.
We
We need
have.
to coordinate.
We have a
that.
timeshare down in, I want to say Newport,
Huh.
and we can totally use it.
Really?
Well, it's a point system, and we have our
Right.
timeshare
Yeah.
that's down there, so we
Awesome.
could actually, and we can go to Whistler. We have,
Nice.
we just got to book it out a year in advance. That's all.
Oh wow.
So
Totally.
Plenty-
We need to
plenty space.
discuss this because
Yeah.
I have not left the state of
Well,
Washington
job-wise, I'm not going anywhere.
since
so
I moved here. Cool.
that's the game plan anyway.
Yeah, totally. So Scott, you were going to tell us about edibles.
Oh yeah. I was given a cookie,
Okay.
and I ate half of it. Was it? I want to say Thursday night.
Okay. Was this
And-
like a homemade cookie?
Homemade cookie. It was like a molasses cookie. So it's
Okay.
about, I want to say, about 2 inches round.
Mm-hmm.
So I ate half of it, and it was the thing. I've never had edibles before,
Yeah.
and so I've been told you gotta wait
Yes.
because they don't kick in right away.
Right.
Mhm.
And I actually had to force myself to put half of it away because I almost ate the whole thing,
Yeah.
and I started
So
tripping
let's
balls
get
after
this-
half.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh wow.
It was
they
a
must
different.
have-
It was a different
Could,
kind of.
could you taste it?
Nope.
Because
Oh,
that's usually, from what I understand, it's like
Yeah.
if you can kind of taste it, then you're in for a treat.
Yeah.
But if you
It
can't
was-
taste it, then
It's well. It was had. If it was there, there were so many other things that were
Right,
going on
sure,
that I
sure.
couldn't tell.
yeah,
Right on.
It was made with hemp or weed butter,
right.
Mm-hmm.
and it was pretty cool. It was
Nice.
it was not like being drunk. It
Mhm.
wasn't like being stoned. It was different. It was
It is,
totally
isn't
different.
it?
And I was
Totally.
I could
I
like,
prefer if I'm going to have I don't like smoking and my allergies are all crazy, but I like edibles.
Yeah.
and I was able to maintain my audible function. I like
Oh,
I like to
good.
talk, and it was gibberish as it usually is, but I could still do it. And where if I smoke, I can't. I don't know what it
Totally.
is. I have all these words in my head,
Huh.
they just can't come
Oh
out.
yeah,
Weird.
I had the same thing.
Yeah.
I got a phone call once from a friend of mine who he was like, Peggy, I just need to talk to you right now. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And he's like, well, we made pot brownies and none of us had ever done it before. And I think I just ate way too many.
Yeah.
And then we went to a drag show and then it kicked in and I'm freaking out.
Huh.
And apparently he was like there was so much sensory stuff and he was so high that he went out to
Overstimulated.
the street and he's like, I'm sitting on the curb and I'm just staring at the ground and I just need to talk to someone. And I was like, you are a total dumbass. I was like, well, congratulations for screwing yourself and good luck with that.
So part 2 of the
It was
cookie,
awesome.
I decided, it wasn't that bad. It was okay. I mean, I was able to maintain the first part. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, the second one won't be so bad. Maybe I'll eat it at work.
Oh no.
And I ate at work, and I got super jumpy.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Like everything was like setting me off. It's like little tiny,
Oh.
like you can snap your fingers, like. Ooh.
Weird.
I was-
Because were you worried about being high at work?
No, that part wasn't it. It was
Huh.
just I was like, it just put me on like I was really on edge about
Weird.
it. I was a little paranoid.
Yeah.
Yeah, just got a little bit paranoid, and other than that, I was fine. I mean, I maintained, but I had to physically, or in my head, I had that mantra going on: you must maintain, you must maintain,
Yeah.
you must maintain. So I probably won't do that ever again.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
but I will eat them again.
Okay, just not at work.
Now.
Okay.
That's probably wise.
Well,
In a job where you can get injured, maybe
Yeah.
not the best
Yeah.
thing to do.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I've always like, why enhance yourself before doing something that you don't really like to do anyway? You know?
It did make it more
Yeah.
tolerable.
Oh,
It
yeah.
It definitely did
Huh.
make it more interesting. It was
But
definitely
then that
fun.
makes the next time even less
Yeah,
interesting.
it did.
That's
When
true.
And
I guess it depends on the job and what you're doing,
Yeah.
really. So.
we actually got one of the guy who gave me the cookie also makes his own oil, so he can put it into a like an e-cigarette.
Huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it
weird.
vaporizes it.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
it's- I think hash oil is what it's called.
Yeah, and then and he says it's really good, and it does, you can't smell it. It doesn't have no smell. I mean, it has a little bit, and then it dissipates right away,
Yeah.
so it doesn't have that lingering
Totally.
burnt smell.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, you guys, Thanksgiving is coming up this week. Anybody have
Really?
exciting plans?
Nope.
Shmink.
You know what? We basically have fallen out of love with our holidays. We're just like, where are we gonna go? I mean, I don't want to, sorry if my family's listening to this, but we just basically don't. We just have
hate
no.
your family is
No,
what
no,
you're
I
saying.
hate
You
them. I
hate
just
them.
have no.
You
I just
want
have
them to
no
go.
desire to
Enough
go
of
hang
it.
out with a bunch of them at the same time. I just have no. And it's turkey, and I'm weird.
You're not into turkey?
Oh, it's not
Man,
that I
I'm
don't
so
like it.
into
I hate
turkey.
it. I just hate turkey.
Really?
If it's made into something that doesn't
man.
resemble or taste like turkey, fine. Like if
That's
it's sausage
weird.
or bacon
Oh,
or
okay.
pepperoni, or if
I was
it's
like, a cake?
Do you like
No.
chicken?
chicken's fine.
Okay,
Chicken's
so
great.
you don't like chicken then?
I do-
Chicken's
I don't like
tolerable? Or
Chicken is yummy. I love
Okay,
chicken.
well then-
Man,
Yeah,
I
it's-
cannot get
turkey
enough
is
Turkey
not-
just has that weird taste, and it's usually super
Do you
dry.
do
Gamey, I
ham
guess, is
instead? Because ham is a
Prime
nice
rib.
alternative.
I like the
oh,
ham.
Prime ribs, where I do.
Right on.
I'll make a prime rib and do that.
That's
Okay.
cool.
But we may just abandon the because it's stressful.
Do it, yeah.
We might just go to a restaurant
Right on.
and
Cool.
just
No, I honestly I mean I'm a Thanksgiving dinner aficionado. That is my
You're-
favorite meal.
Are you a tryptophan?
Tryptophan.
I sure
Sorry.
am.
Okay. Sorry.
No, but the potatoes, stuffing, turkey, cranberry combo is the perfect meal to me. Like I
You
love it.
dig cranberries, do you?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, no, because for the longest time,
I
Dad was
know.
the only one who liked
Okay,
cranberries.
we
It
have
would be-
this family joke,
Now,
which is
is
that
it
on Thanksgiving, my dad, growing up, would walk around with a plate of cranberries trying to get people to eat it. Like,
Yeah.
"Do
Just
you want
the-
some
the berry.
cranberries? No,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
no, like
jelly, the cranberry sauce.
Okay, the
and he'd
sauce.
walk around and be like, "Are you sure?
like he had the hookup.
Are you sure? You sure you don't want some cranberries?" And we'd
Yeah.
all be like, "No,
Yeah.
Dad, leave us alone." Like he was
Yeah.
like a pusher of
was it
cranberries.
the gelatinous stuff from the can?
Yeah,
Okay.
which I think is great. I don't.
Yeah,
no, but
I
as an adult,
don't care for it still, but
oh really? See, I like
Yeah.
it. But like growing up, I think it just was weird looking,
Yeah.
and we were like,
Yeah,
"Dad," like
yeah.
none of us would eat
Don't
it.
ruin the
You can
food.
slice it.
Yeah.
Oh, he had
Oh,
it like
yeah,
sliced
yeah,
on a
yeah,
plate
mhm.
and would come up and like put pressure
Yeah,
on
like
you to
like
eat the
like
cranberries.
why aren't you having cranberries?
Right.
You know?
Are you sure? Are you
Yeah.
sure you don't want cranberries?
Now,
And like we would make fun of him. And
Well,
then
he
now
was-
as an adult, like I love cranberries. They're like the best part.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
I like them when they're done fresh. Like when it's actually you get the actual fresh cranberries.
Yeah, I don't
put-
mind.
You know.
Make it yourself. It's actually better. It's
Yeah,
really
it is
good.
better.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But I don't even mind the,
Yeah.
45-cent jar or
Right.
can of
Can.
cranberries.
My wife likes cranberries.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Fun fact: Washington State is the #1 producer of cranberries.
Oh,
Fun fact.
Go
Yeah.
Washington.
Yeah, and it used to be called. They were called
Move over apples.
cranberries.
Cranberry.
Cranberries. Yeah, they've
Hmm.
developed into
Cranberries.
cranberries.
Nice.
Is that kind of like Washington?
Washington. Yeah.
Cranberries.
Cranberries?
They're
Um,
grown out on the coast. They're,
Oh, nice.
Huh.
I suddenly developed an accent. I don't know what it is.
Weird.
At the
I
coast.
think we also do
Coast.
ginseng too. There's a lot
Do
of
we?
ginseng farms.
Hmm.
Like the climate is just right for it or
Weird.
something.
But I was gonna say though that even though I love the turkey meal, I've had lots of Thanksgivings where we've like had pizza
Oh, yeah.
or
Yeah.
like nachos and really like I'd say whatever makes you happy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
My best Thanksgiving ever was like 4 years ago maybe. My best friend Brian in Chicago wasn't working and neither was I, but his girlfriend was working like in the morning. And so I was like, I'll just come over and like we weren't doing anything. So I was
Right.
like, I will come over and we'll just play, one of the Grand Theft Autos had just come out. I'm like, we'll just play Grand Theft Auto
Nice.
and have pie. and we'll wait for Janice to come home, and we'll just like eat pie. And he was thinking I meant pizza pie.
Oh.
But I went out and bought pie. Like I got an apple pie and a pumpkin pie, and I showed up at his house, and he's like, "Oh, you meant pie?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's Thanksgiving." And he was like, "I got pizza," and he had like these giant pizzas that he had gotten, and I was like, "Pizza." And then I went over to his house at like 9 a.m. We got shit-faced by like 1 o'clock.
Oh, nice.
Played Grand Theft Auto for about 11 hours and ate 2 gigantic pizzas and 2 pies. And then Janice got home at like 5 o'clock and was like, we were just like wasted. And there's like pie everywhere. And she was just like, what happened here? And it was so fun. And then she like brought food. And then we had like quote unquote real Thanksgiving, even though I think we made like a quiche or something.
Okay.
But it was like the most fun, just like lazy video game booze day. I think we drank like 4 bottles of champagne.
Right.
Yeah, it was good times.
I would love to have a traditional Thanksgiving, not the Better Home and Gardens version,
but like where
actually
you find some Native Americans
Yeah,
and have them kill.
have them kill their deer.
Maze. I love the word maze.
No, I like because I read that they had seafood.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, and whatever
Buffalo,
was
probably. I don't know.
somewhat.
Maybe.
Buffalo.
I don't know. Then we're more like in the plain. I don't know. Maybe.
Coastal.
Yeah, it's coastal. It was on the coast, so it's like
So you could have like some smoked salmon and maize.
Maze.
Maze.
We just watched that actually, Grown Ups. We just watched
Oh.
that. That's where.
Is that what
I
it's
haven't
from?
seen that one.
I just
Yeah,
thought
you
we were
haven't
making
seen
fun
Grown
of
Ups?
the word
It's
maze.
Rob.
I know there's a
I
new
have
one, isn't there?
seen.
Yeah, it's
There
Grown Ups
is,
too.
yeah.
Well, Rob Schneider, he plays
Yeah.
this.
I don't
He's
know.
like a
I'm kinda
naturalist.
scared to just watch it for some reason.
It's
And
pretty
his
good.
movies are so hit
Yeah.
and miss. It's like I don't.
It's a good one.
Scott thinks
Risk
it's a
it.
good one. I
It's a good one.
disagree.
Okay.
I think it is painfully bad.
And I believe Netflix. Honestly, it's like Netflix thinks I won't like it. So
It reeks of them going, hey, you know, it would be fun to make a movie where we're all in it so we can all hang out. And then it's like nothing is connected to each other. There's no real plot.
Yeah,
They're
sort
pretty
of
much
like the
playing
end of
each
the
other.
world,
They're
which
playing
It's
I
just
finally
like-
saw that.
Which one?
The end of the world. It's the end of the world or whatever.
This is
World's
the
End?
end.
This is something.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the end.
This,
Yes.
the end.
Did you like it?
I liked aspects of it. I really liked the characters.
Okay.
It's like I liked the world. It.
I see. I'm just making fun of you.
I don't know.
I love that movie.
Solid
I love
C.
it.
I've seen
Solid
it.
C
I
plus.
love it. It was like my most joyous trip to the movie theater this year where
Yeah.
I gave 5 to a person I didn't know, which has only happened about 3 times after movies because it was so funny and we were laughing and like it was like the people in the row in front of me and the people in the row behind me were like barrel laughing, and at the end we all
funny
like
wise
gave
it was
each other
funny.
vibes.
It was very funny. It was.
What more do you want?
I don't know.
You didn't like the Backstreet Boys at the end? I was like,
Yeah.
this movie. Or you didn't like Channing Tatum as like Danny McBride's sex toy? Have you seen this
Spoiler
movie?
alert! No, I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh, it's
No.
awesome.
I gotta watch it.
cannot
I do
spoil
have to.
this
I
movie,
guess maybe I
though.
gotta watch it again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you don't have to like it. It is a lot of dick and fart jokes.
I do like it. I did like it.
And I thought it was like so joyfully
Speaking of-
irreverent. It is my perfect kind of movie though, where it's like stupid but kind of has some sweet parts in it, and like everything just like it, whatever joke it is. Like there's a scene in it where they're like, because it's the apocalypse, right? And there's like 6 dudes, and then a woman shows up.
Right.
And they all have a conversation about the intention of the conversation is we need to make sure she doesn't feel uncomfortable because there's a bunch of dudes.
You've
I
said
brought
this
it
on
up,
the podcast
yeah.
before. Sorry.
Yeah. And it is like
That's all right.
so funny and smart and also terrifyingly ridiculous that like it's just, there's scenes in it that I'm just like, this is a brilliant scene.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, but it also is a dick and fart joke movie.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
it's like high and lowbrow at the same time.
And maybe
I
not
love
enough
that.
highbrow for me.
Yeah,
is the
that-
whole thing. It's sort of like a little too low. Well, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
because the highbrow stuff was like stuff like how James Franco's house just had a whole bunch of like dick art.
Yeah.
Like he was like, I'm an art collector, and then
Right.
everything is just like dicks everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's really funny to me.
It is funny.
That he's like
well,
this
but then
art collector.
Superbad, they also had
I love
where
Superbad.
the guy would just draw dicks everywhere.
Yeah, and it was written by the same.
Okay.
Because it's Seth Rogen and his best friend,
Yeah.
and the Jay
Jonah
Baruchel
Hill.
character. No, he's not in any of the movies.
Oh, he's not?
No, he doesn't act in them. He just writes with Seth Rogen. But Jay Baruchel was playing the character that was supposed to be the guy who wrote both Superbad and This Is the End with Seth Rogen.
Okay.
He's like his friend from. They met in Hebrew school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm a big
I'll
fan
have
of
to
Seth
watch
Rogen.
it again.
Yeah.
I laughed. It wasn't.
No, it's
it
one of
wasn't
those
totally
things
lost
that it
on
just
me.
was like in the sweet spot for me.
Yeah.
That's like, but then something like Grown Ups, where it is kind of like they're totally comparable.
Yeah.
Grown Ups to me, I was like rolling my eyes at every joke. It was like they just weren't like authentically
They
funny.
weren't. They didn't really put a
But
whole
there
lot
was
of effort.
a couple scenes like Kevin James is a brilliant physical comedian,
Right.
and he does a lot of slapstick in it. That's like, I mean, Kevin James is one of those to me that like you can't not go. He's a brilliant.
What are we talking about now?
Grown Ups.
Grown Ups. Okay.
He
no
does
wonder I don't know
like
what's going on.
slapstick comedy,
Right.
you know, like in the movie, the Mall Cop movie,
Right.
which isn't a
Blart.
great movie,
Blart.
but the segue jokes in Mall Cop, he is just like a genius at
Right.
like clowning, basically.
he pokes at his foot himself.
He's so funny.
Fun of himself. pretty
Yeah,
well.
like his physical comedy is just like nothing else.
But when
to me.
he's
Like, he's a genius.
when he was like coming out like towards the end of the movie where he's like all tough and it's all slow mo and he's got the glasses on and he's all like
Totally.
trying to be kind of cool, but you know he's just trying to be cool.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I think like when he does his thing, he's like nobody's better at it than him.
Have you seen this? The one movie he did when he was doing the MMA. Have you seen that yet?
No, I
would-
haven't.
Yeah,
I
it's
wanted
all right.
to
It was
see it.
okay. Yeah.
It got such low ratings on Rotten Tomatoes that I skipped it, but I thought
it was
it
all
looked
right.
good.
It was all right.
What was the
It's
name of
worth
it
a
again? I
rental
can't
for
remember.
sure.
Something about the bang.
So-
Here comes
Here
the
Comes the boom.
Here comes the
Yeah.
boom. Yeah.
Okay, I have to I'll have to
Bring in
look.
the boom or
Totally.
something.
Yeah.
So not to
Anyway.
get too far off dick jokes though. I thought of one the other day.
No,
Yeah,
you're
my
coming
own.
up with your own
I'm
dick
coming
jokes?
up with
Okay.
my own dick jokes now.
Right
I'm
on,
sure
I
it's probably been
appreciate
done, but here goes. If there were a religion that worshipped dicks, where would you go to learn about it?
Okay, hang on. Where would you go to learn about it? The Cockatorium. I have no idea.
Seminary.
Seminary.
Okay, that's a good
Okay.
one. Nice. You don't tell your Titanic one.
Oh,
Because
it's
to
a
me
coffee.
it's similar.
Oh, yeah. I didn't make this one up. But, okay, so what coffee did they drink on the Titanic? What brand of coffee did they drink? And actually, that's kind of giving it away too much. But
That's okay.
I wouldn't know. Go ahead.
Sanka.
Sanka.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking of
Those are
something
good.
to the
I like
last
that.
straw. I was going to think
Yeah.
Folgers, good to last
Oh,
straw, but
yeah.
that's an elevator joke.
Sanka.
Oh, there
Cool.
you go.
Well, I think that's a good place to end it on
Okay.
a nice original
Right on.
dick joke by Rick.
There we go.
and-
Let's give a quick
Sanka.
thank you to
Yes.
Eva. I talked to her when we came in.
Totally,
And,
yeah.
She actually quit her job to work here.
Oh, cool.
She was a booking agent at a cruise line.
Oh.
Yeah,
fun.
I want to say Norwegian cruise line.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
And she's like,
She said,
screw that.
yeah,
I
it's her
wanna do
cousin. This
coffee.
is her cousin's
Oh, right
business, and she said, please save me from my boring job. So she's here.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
Right on. Well, she makes some good coffee.
Yeah, it was
The
good.
sandwich was good.
Totally.
Yeah.
Great.
Small. Like I'd rather should just ordered 2 of them,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that's the risk you run with the breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
I find sometimes they are really kind of wimpy. Totally.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Great.
Good
Well,
one.
thanks for listening. Check us out on Facebook. Like us on, I guess that's Facebook is
Yeah,
the liking.
Like us.
Follow us on SoundCloud and subscribe
you
on
can
iTunes.
like us on YouTube as
you
well.
You can like us on YouTube.
Give us
Yeah.
a little like.
You can also
there.
True.
subscribe on YouTube.
Yep.
Subscribe
on YouTube.
everywhere. Like, you like subscribe.
Yeah. Soon we're gonna have a website that kind of links out to everything that's a
Yeah.
hub for people who are having a hard time looking for us. So
Totally.
keep an eye out for that. We'll let you
Yeah.
know when it comes up. And thanks again for listening. Bye.
Bye.